Who gives Caitlin to be married to Matthew?
Her mother and I.
Go get her, buddy. Thank you. You may be seated. What makes this ceremony different than others that may be taking place all over the United States and all over even the world today? Well, it starts with two people who are, first of all, committed to Christ, which both Matthew and Caitlin are. Two people who are committed to each other, which Matthew and Caitlin are. Then two people making a covenant to each other and a covenant to God. And that's why we're here today. Now, this covenant's not a contract. A contract says, I take you for me. Covenant says, I give myself to you. A contract says, you'd better do it. A covenant says, how may I serve you? A contract says, what do I get? Covenant says, what can I give? A contract says, I'll meet you halfway. A covenant says, I give you 100% plus. A contract says, I have to do these things. A covenant says, I want to do these things. It says, I'm here today to make these promises out of my love and out of my commitment, first of all, to Christ. This is such a radically different view of marriage than is held by many other people getting married today. But this is what Matthew and Caitlin are committed to. So Matthew, got 3 questions for you. Do you promise before God by the power of the Holy Spirit to consistently seek to fulfill your God-designed position and role as husband to Caitlin?
I do.
Do you promise before God to give yourself to her, to serve her and love her no matter what that requires and regardless of how she responds? Do you promise before God to honor and keep Caitlin in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto her as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Caitlin, I have 3 questions for you. Do you promise before God by the power of the Holy Spirit to consistently seek to fulfill your God-designed position and role as a wife to Matthew?
I do.
Do you promise before God to give yourself to him, to serve him and respect him, no matter what that requires, and even when Matthew doesn't deserve it?
I do.
Do you promise before God to honor and keep Matthew in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him so long as you both shall live?
I do.
So Matthew, you have some vows that you want to share with Caitlin today. They'll hear you from me. You're fine.
All right. Caitlin Elizabeth Davis. From the first day I saw you, I instantly knew you were the one. On our first date, we spent hours talking about courtship and what it meant to me. I knew right then I would never want anyone else on the stage but you. I promised to always cherish you and love you with all I have. I promised to be a man and seek forgiveness whenever I falter. I promised to always humble myself and show you that even when I don't have my expectations met, I will still love you all the way, expecting nothing in return. I promise to always care for you more than I ever care about myself. I promise to provide for you in every way you possibly need. I promise to always support you in your dreams and push you to achieve all of those dreams. I promise to always lead you to Christ and help us both lean on him in any circumstance. I promise to take care of you when you are sick. I promise to take you to every NASCAR race with me. I promise to always laugh with you and have fun any moment we can. I promise to have you by my side to hold your hand when we take those big steps in life. I promise to be the best dad I can be and lead our family in the way of the Lord. I promise to pick you up when you've had a rough day. I promise to stay positive and encourage you in anything you do. I promise to hold you tight in my arms like you so desperately love. I promise to care for you with all my heart. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you and serve with you in every aspect of our lives. I know you are my soulmate and the one that I love with all of my heart. I am so excited to take your hand and run into life head on with you. You mean the world to me, and I know for a fact I love you the mostest. You will forever be my bride.
Caitlin, you have some things you want to share with Matt today?
Nice. Matthew, I am so excited to be standing here today. This is the day we've been dreaming of and praying for. I just wanted to start off by saying how incredibly blessed I am to have you. You're a hard worker, you're loving, and you're outgoing. It is so easy to fall more and more in love with you every day. As you may know, today marks the beginning of the rest of our lives together. We get to grow old together, serve God together, go to NASCAR races together, and just in general make many more memories together. Through those years, I promise to love and to cherish you through the rough and the good times. I love you, Matthew Tranter Benefito.
You've chosen rings to be a reminder and a symbol of your views and your vows that you made to each other. So, Matthew, if you could put that on her left hand. And whenever you look at these rings, I want you to remember the promises that you made. There's promise rings that people promise themselves to each other. Wedding rings take that promise, all capital letters, and bigger than ever. You're making these promises. Every time you look at that ring, remember these promises you made today. So Matt, repeat after me. This ring I give you,
This ring I give you,
in token and pledge
in token and pledge
of our constant faith
of our constant faith
and abiding love.
and abiding love.
Caitlin, can you put this on his left hand? And repeat after me. This ring I give you,
This ring I give you,
in token and pledge
in token and pledge
of our constant faith
of our constant faith
and abiding love.
and abiding love.
Standing here in your presence, in a grace so real and endless, I am won by perfect love, wrapped within the arms of heaven, in a peace that lasts forever, sinking deep. In mercy's sea, I'm wide awake, drawing close, stirred by grace, and all my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, lean into your love. Oh, your love. When I'm lost, you pursue me. Lift my head to see your glory, Lord of all. So beautiful. Here in you, I find shelter, captivated by the splendor of your face. My secret place, I'm wide awake, drawing close, stirred by grace, and all my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, lean into your love. Oh, your love.
Matthew, you've been waiting for this moment since the first time you laid eyes on Caitlin. As a minister of the gospel, I pronounce you now as husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. It's my privilege and pleasure to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Panapinto.
Every sunrise and every sunset, we'll do the things we ain't done yet. You know love is all we need. Hey girl, come do a little life, a little living here by my side. I look at you and baby I believe it's got to be meant to be. Come do a little down the road, come do a little home sweet home. We'll live out all our dreams. Come do a little life with me. Catch a movie in the middle of the day, catch a fish, catch a high school game, dig a hole, plant a tree, come